You know, we recently spent our 5-year anniversary of having moved from the United States to come live in Brazil. That happened exactly 5 years ago on July 21st, 2021. But you see, we don't travel much anymore. We've kind of become homebodies. And because of that, I have to find ways to keep myself busy. And the only thing that I'm good at, besides making videos, is painting. Good morning. Serra Grande, Bahia. You know, I haven't painted on location for some time. And because we live close by to here, I thought today would be an excellent day to come out, drink some coffee, maybe have a slice of bread. And they always give you mineral water to go with your coffee. And I always get extra hot water so I can extend my coffee for an hour or two. And I thought I'd take a couple of pictures off the setup. So you can see right here, I took a picture of the coffee cup, the pot, the water and all that, and the piece of bread. And I'm going to use that photograph as a reference to sketch over here. It should take me about half an hour or so. And after I finish sketching that, my plan is to then paint using gouache. I might go home and use some watercolor as well. But after a number of weeks of painting with watercolor, I thought I'd paint with gouache. My painting from yesterday was gouache, and it turned out quite well. I was pretty happy with it. So, you know, when you live in places like this and when you retire, we don't travel so much anymore. And because we don't travel so much anymore, we don't have too many vlogs to make. So when we started this channel about 5 years ago, let's see, today's the 23rd of July. Exactly July 21st, 5 years ago in 2021, we left Miami to fly to Sao Paulo. And then we traveled around. And so we finally ended up living here in coastal Bahia. And we really haven't traveled much. So the only thing I can really do to keep myself busy, as I recommend all of you who are retired, is to find a hobby and keep yourself out and busy. Because sitting at home, not doing anything, watching TV, it's not going to be good for you. So that's my plan for today. And come and join me. It's going to be about 3 hours or so. And I plan to post all this for you to watch, the start to finish process. So come along. You know, so it's been a couple of months since we came back from our trip to the 6 cities in the northeast of Brazil. Let me remind you what those were. And we've got videos of all of them. Aracaju, Maceió, Recife, João Pessoa, Natal, and finally Fortaleza. And then we were kind of getting homesick, so we decided to come back. And we've been here for a couple of weeks, or a couple of months, I'm sorry. But as I reflect back, Elci's not here. She's visiting her mother in nearby Itabuna, which is about an hour and a half, 2 hours away. Elci and I have been talking about what we miss about that trip and what we're going to do going forward. Me as an artist really would love to travel frequently and then use this as our base to keep coming back to. But to spend like a month or two at a fully furnished Airbnb. And there are many that accept pets from our experience now. So it would be not a problem to take Bella with us. And she loves to travel. Every time I open the back of the hatchback car that we have, she thinks we're traveling and she gets all super excited. So it would not at all be a problem traveling with her. But I, as an artist, would love to spend 1 or 2 months in different places as we travel and to paint in those locations. I've seen so many artists worldwide that are hosting workshops in different countries and different cities. I dream of doing that, not for the money, but really to engage with other artists and perhaps teach them. As I'm getting older, I'm going to be 65 next month in August. And Elci keeps asking me, what is your purpose in life? What's your purpose in life? And I always say, maybe I can leave a life purpose of being an artist, a painter, a creative person, and maybe teach somebody else, maybe a group of people in different places on how to paint, and perhaps change somebody's life in doing so, like it has mine. You know, being creative has definitely had an impact on my life, whether it's me being a filmmaker, which I've produced and directed and photographed 3 feature-length films, numerous short films, and over 700 videos right here on this channel, not to mention hundreds and hundreds of paintings that I've painted by hand of different subject matters. So that maybe is what my purpose in life is to travel, continue doing that, enjoying the diversity that comes with traveling with Elci and with our dog Bella, and then coming back here all the time, because this will remain our base. So we're thinking that might actually be something we end up doing. There were a couple of projects that we had that I won't get into, but those projects are going to be finished in about 2 months. So this is now coming, this is the end of July. Today is July 28th. August is about to begin. I think by the end of September, the couple of projects that we have that we're committed to will be finished. And then we can definitely think about packing our bags again and going someplace for some time, and then coming back here, and then packing our bags again, going someplace else for some time, and then coming back here. All the while creating and painting, right? So what do you think? You let us know. Have you enjoyed the videos of us traveling? Many people actually have said so, that they miss to see us traveling. Yeah, so let's see. You know, painting in plein air, which is a French term, applies to going on location, sketching and painting what you see directly in front of you. You know, so this is a painting that I recently did. I started out sketching it in plein air, and I completed about half of it on location at a local organic market that takes place every Saturday from sunrise to about lunchtime. And so I was there for about 3.5, 4 hours, and then I completed it in my home studio here. But there's something about working in plein air that's been a bit of a block for me for years and years and years, because I've always been a studio artist, but I'm very determined to start painting in plein air frequently, with this being probably my first big one, my first meaningful painting that's been done in plein air and finished here in the studio. What I aim to do is to teach myself how to do in plein air, all on location from start to finish, like I see many amazing watercolor artists doing, even gouache artists. So I use both gouache and watercolors interchangeably, so I'm not by any means stuck to one or the other. Gouache is a little bit more forgiving, but watercolor has a great look to it, which I just absolutely love. It's got that watery look to it. So yeah, so I've been very reluctant thus far to paint in plein air, but I hope to change that as I somehow have found my courage again to go out in public and sketch from what I see, and then paint what I see and talk to people as that happens, and then come back home, hopefully going in the future with a finished painting. So if you're struggling with painting in plein air, in public, in front of people, I was the same way, but somehow I found the courage, and hopefully you will too. But this is my latest one. Hope you like it. So let me just ask you this. How many of you would be interested in joining me for art workshops if I were to organize and set them up right here in Brazil? You may be watching from North America, from Canada, from Europe, elsewhere. And if you've always been fascinated by visiting Brazil, which is an incredible country, I mean, just watch our videos and you'll see what I mean. I would love to perhaps organize art workshops where people come from around the world and stay at hotels that I organize and paint with me in plein air in various locations, all the while combining, say, a holiday along with creating art. If this is something that would interest you, I would love to hear from you, because it will give me an idea of how much interest people have in this sort of thing. Because there's so many beautiful places right here within an hour or two of where we live that can be painted by you guys. And Bahia is a place where people come from around the world for the culture, the food, the music, the beaches. Oh my goodness. So let me know. I would love to hear from you about that. Workshops with artist Pepi in Bahia, Brazil. Let me know if that would be something you would be interested in. I'd love to hear from you.